Hello, and welcome to this video on developing an identity for cosine of 3 times theta. It makes sense to have an identity that involves cosines only because, as we know, it's possible to write, say, cosine of twice theta in terms of cosine only. So let's see. To develop an identity for cosine of 3 theta in terms of cosine only, it makes sense to decompose cosine of 3 theta into the following parts based on a decomposition of 3 theta. So we can write 3 theta as 2 theta plus theta. That way the cosine of 2 theta plus theta can be written as the cosine of 2 theta times the cosine of theta minus the sine of 2 theta times the sine of theta. And now we write cosine of twice theta in terms of cosine only, and this involves twice cosine squared of theta minus 1. All that gets multiplied by cosine of theta, and the sine of twice theta is the same as twice the sine of theta times the cosine of theta, and then all that gets multiplied by sine of theta. Then we have twice cosine cubed of theta minus cosine of theta as we expand 2 cosine squared theta minus 1 times cosine of theta, and then minus twice, and sine of theta times sine of theta gives us sine squared of theta, and times cosine of theta. And we can rewrite everything in terms of cosine of theta by rewriting our sine squared in terms of cosine of theta. Have minus twice 1 minus cosine squared of theta, and that times cosine of theta. And then we have twice cosine cubed of theta minus cosine of theta minus, and we're going to distribute this cosine between 1 and cosine squared of theta, and then multiply everything by 2. We have minus 2 cosine of theta minus 2 times negative 1. So that's plus 2 times cosine cubed of theta. And as we collect like terms, we find 2 cosine cubed of theta plus 2 times cosine cubed of theta. That's 4 times cosine cubed of theta. And then minus 3 times cosine of theta. So this is the polynomial 4x cubed minus 3x, where x is the variable, and x is cosine of theta. And this way we can rewrite cosine of 3 theta in terms of cosine only, cosine of theta only. Now let me just remind you what we used in the process. Here we used the fact that cosine of alpha plus beta is equal to cosine of alpha times cosine of beta minus sine of alpha times sine of beta. Then we used that the sine of twice an angle is the same as twice sine of the angle times cosine of the angle. Then we used that sine squared of theta, or in general, any angle is the same as 1 minus cosine squared of the angle. And then we distributed, like we foiled everything, and then we collected like terms. Okay, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, let me know, and I will try to help you. Bye-bye.